Let's get our, make sure our overlay is working. Make sure the YouTube stream is working. Make sure the YouTube stream is working. Okay.
My opinion, that does.
I'm going to be reacting to some Greg Doucette and Clavicular drama. Make sure the YouTube stream is working. For those of you who don't know, Greg Doucette is a bodybuilder slash influencer. Does a lot of coaching stuff, and he gets involved in a lot of drama. Clavicular is like a 19, I think, teenager who's big into looks maxing. He's big into looks maxing. If you don't know what that is, it's pretty self-explanatory. But yeah, they've been going at it, and obviously there's some overlap in what they do. This is where we're going to start. It's about an appearance that Clavicular made on Bradley Martin's podcast, where he just brings people on to shoot the shit about basically anything and everything. And we're gonna jump right into it.
In my opinion, that doesn't really seem that extreme to me. It seems very logical.
Yeah, in his opinion, it's no big deal. Testosterone at 14. I know other people think that's extreme, but, you know, I was well read on it. It seemed logical. A 14-year-old doesn't have logic.
True. I can argue with that.
Coach Greg and Claviculum, he ends up on the Bradley Martin podcast yapping about Coach Greg. Never realized we had so much in common. Did you all know that Claviculum was kicked out of university for having 80 bottles of steroids?
If I recall, the way he framed it was kicked out of college for looks maxing, quote unquote. But yes, it was actually because he had a lot of because he was storing obviously illicit substances in his dorm.
Check. I thought steroids were illegal in the United States, but Claviculum, he had 80 bottles, and no, he swears he wasn't selling them. Not sure how he's not in jail, but that's a different story.
You're not really too sure all the time. What's like some maybe.
They're kind of I don't know. I mean, really, to my knowledge, the real risk is the way most people get them. It's not actually just possessing them, or even possessing an amount with intent to sell by itself. You're actually more likely to get nailed through the most common way that people get them, which, to my knowledge, is ordering them online. Because then it becomes from basic possession to transporting, and that's obviously a bigger deal.
Maybe the Miami Shark. We just opted to do math, which we knew was going to be more pure.
We're gonna do
Claviculum,
some
he
dungeons.
perhaps appears to be smart. I mean, he's, after all, neurodivergent, but he's unable to use his intelligence to help his own body. I mean, really, you're going to opt for math rather than creatine because you think it's safer, that it's healthier,
What kind of
that it's
dichotomy
more
is that?
pure. Literally, you can't make this shit up.
You actually take a look at the science.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Math is, he's trying not to get demonetized. Math is crystal, it's the Breaking Bad stuff is what he means.
Of what math actually is, and it's really not too far off from just your traditional run-of-the-mill Adderall.
The level of dopamine, the addictive qualities, it's very, very dangerous. And so please, as a favor to Coach Greg, please don't do any math.
I just want to clarify. I never advocate anyone to do this, but I
Great
don't
message.
think people should take stimulants. I think more people are going to go about stimulants in the wrong way rather
Great
than
message.
the right way.
Just to clarify, he doesn't think anyone should do this. He just sells a course on how to do this, to 14-year-olds. And so whatever he talks about, whatever he does as an influencer, please don't let that influence you to do the things that he tells you that he's doing. And so when you're an influencer, what you do is a course on how to do this, to 14-year-olds. And so whatever he talks about, whatever he
Does he have?
as an influencer, please don't let that influence you to do the things that he tells you that he's
14
doing.
to
And so when
15.
you're an influencer, what
No.
you do and say literally influences other people to do the same. And so you can't act one way.
What?
Influences other people to do the same. And so you can't act one way. Oh, I do math, I sniff creatine, I do this and that, I'm injecting 15 milligrams of Retta each and every week, but no, you shouldn't do that. But it helps me to lose all this weight, to look smack, to get
Fair
leaner
enough.
than last time.
Fair enough. That wouldn't have worked, but because he threw in the way that clavicular kind of implies that it's been a positive, I think that becomes a stronger point. Becomes a stronger point for Greg. If it was just him doing it and then saying not to do it, and Greg was just attacking him on that basis, it would be a lot weaker. But because he threw that in about how clavicular generally talks about it as though it's been a positive, that makes that a stronger argument.
At the same time, you literally say that this is a scam and that I pretend that
It probably, that's not, yeah.
I got all my gains from the cookbook rather than steroids. Is there a single person of my over 2 million followers that's ever heard me say that I look like this because of my cookbook and that steroids had nothing to do with it?
It wouldn't have to be that explicit.
No, I say it's low-calorie dense foods with lots of protein for the big eater. It helps you to eat in a deficit. The foods are delicious, and so if you're interested, code Greg 15% off.
Code Greg.
That too. I take 15 mg. I just have such a high baseline appetite that I don't really have time to do cardio these days.
This is the problem. He is looking for every single
Wait, that doesn't even make sense. How does having a higher appetite mean you don't have time to do cardio? Is this...
cheat code in this world. He can't try to do anything on his own. He hasn't even been to the gym in a month. And so, what does he do? He opts to take an experimental GLP at 15 milligrams a week, which is a ridiculous dose. Now, if I were to use this for a bodybuilding competition and I had to get leaner, I would use perhaps 1 to 2 milligrams a week. Bro is on 15. That is a hefty dose for a morbidly obese individual. And have you seen his pre-workout? He goes into a gas station, buys a bunch of biscuits, candies, and so on, and he eats that. He drinks a regular Monster, not even sugar-free. And so...
I mean, to my knowledge, isn't like pre and post workout nutrition, isn't the consensus on pre and post workout nutrition that sugar is better during those windows?
Does anyone think that if
It could even be
Clavicular
beneficial.
didn't hire Coach Greg as his coach, perhaps even his life coach, that his life wouldn't get significantly better? He doesn't need to do any of the things that he's doing. This includes smashing his face with his bones, poking syringes into his eyes, and all the things he plans on doing. Limb lengthening surgery, bone maxing, implants, getting his orbital bones increased. Whatever he thinks he needs to do, he doesn't need to be doing it.
So if I want to go on like a really heavy shred, I was just like math maxing.
It just sounds insane.
I know, yeah, it does sound insane.
It is insane. Think of it, math maxing. What is wrong with this guy? If he simply went to the gym 1 hour a day, he wouldn't need any of these drugs. He wouldn't need the testosterone. He wouldn't need the Retta. He wouldn't need the peptides. He wouldn't need anything.
But there's... Right, but because they don't fulfill the same function, to my knowledge. If Retta is an appetite suppressant, I mean, they kind of indirectly do. But going to the gym isn't going to lessen your appetite if that's your main obstacle in looking the way you want.
And he would look and feel better, but no, why would I want to go to the gym an hour each and every day? I hate going to the gym. I'd rather abuse drugs, break the law, and promote this to the world by saying, oh, I do this, but don't copy me. You really think that that method is going to work?
I haven't done math in a while, but for like 2 weeks now. I don't plan on restarting.
Does this not remind you of Togi? Oh, just replace this drug with a different drug. Keep rotating back and forth so that you never get addicted. Togi almost died. How do you think this is going to
Don't know
end?
who that
Get
is.
you on the addiction side yet.
No, being addicted to drugs is like, I don't know, it's kind of a lack of willpower in my opinion.
Yeah, and you know what lacks willpower? Not going to the gym for 30 days, using testosterone and red instead. Bro is acting like he's Mr. Willpower.
I just don't think he's made it a priority, in truth. I just don't think he's made it a priority. Which is different than like a willpower thing. Oh crap.
But what happened with that decreased drive when he power?
Where was
How
I?
do you think
Okay.
this is going to end?
Didn't get you on the addiction side yet.
No, being addicted to drugs is like, I don't know, it's kind of a lack of willpower in my opinion.
I'm waiting to see where supposedly there's gonna be like a Bradley Martin there's gonna be something that indicates Bradley Martin was not prepared for Clavicular. If Greg Doucette's title of this video is anything to go off of.
Yeah, and you know what lacks willpower? Not going to the gym for 30 days, using testosterone and red instead. Bro is acting like he's Mr. Willpower. What is he, Mike Isertel? He has more willpower than almost anyone?
You've never met anyone with as much willpower as me.
It
Yeah,
makes
mandatory
no sense.
Isertel.
Whereas stimulants, you just like feel bad. You don't really have the same drive that you do when you take them. The drive goes away, but you're not necessarily dependent.
And so yeah, let's go over what happened with that decreased drive when he's not taking those drugs. He hasn't been to the gym in a month. If he's sniffing creatine, he can go and work out. But if he's not doing math, etc., I don't have the time to work out. I don't want to lift weights. Bro sounds like Peggy frickin' Watson. You know, Les Watson.
Oh my God!
And what is he taking, Mr. Les Watson? Lots of this, and who knows what else.
I would say that how
You would know if he was doing other things. He's basically like what he admits to all the peptides, he admits to the steroids, he admits to meth and coke. Let's not imply that he's hiding something.
early I started
Like what would be the
TRT
point?
would probably be the thing that would be the most extreme.
What is wrong with this guy? Like, who hurt this man? Where were his parents? Unfortunately, the freaking Reddit threads, the streams, social media, it's ruined him for life.
In my opinion, that doesn't really seem that extreme to me. It seems very logical.
Yeah, in his opinion, it's no big deal. Testosterone at 14. I know other people think that's extreme, but, you know, I was well read on it. It seemed logical. A 14-year-old doesn't have logic. They don't have enough life experience to realize the mistakes that they've been making.
So it was more for, facial
Sure.
masculinization, going for a more dimorphic look, and, developing, like, facial bones, things of this nature.
It's bad enough when you take steroids thinking, I don't have a lot of muscle, I'm trying to get jacked, I'm embarrassed by my physique. He took it to age his face. It's sad. He's 14.
Not age his face. Go back.
More dimorphic look.
He said more dimorphic. It's a bit different than what you're characterizing it as.
And, developing, like, facial bones, things of this nature.
Developing
It's bad enough
facial
when
bones,
you take
yeah.
steroids thinking, I don't have a lot of
Aging
muscle,
face
I'm
is
trying to
just,
get jacked, I'm embarrassed
you
by my
lose
physique.
collagen and
He
the skin
took it
thins
to
out and
age
sags.
his face. It's
different.
sad. He's 14. He didn't know any better. As a 19-year-old, he should be making this message. Hey guys, I used steroids at 14. It was a mistake. It was stupid. I don't know why I did that. And so I'm here to tell other 14-year-olds, please don't copy me. But
Could argue that's the responsible thing, sure. But if he's just committed to honesty, he's gonna be honest.
this message. Hey guys, he didn't know any better. As a 19-year-old, he should be making this message. Hey guys, I used steroids at 14. It was a mistake. It was stupid. I don't know why I did that. And so I'm here to tell other 14-year-olds, please don't copy me. But instead of that, I don't know why people think it's crazy. I was mature. I studied it enough. And so if you use testosterone, make sure that
Sure.
you're well read on it, and then you can take it. No! You can't take it till you're older. Wait till you're prescribed it from a doctor. Now remember, if you're trying to be healthy and you're trying to get things prescribed from a doctor, Algo RX. They'll get your
Okay. Okay. This is just I can't even deduce like to what degree this is just him trying to shill versus like his genuine moral reasoning. These types of doctors will prescribe to basically anybody. So it's essentially the same thing. You're saying what? Don't make the decision myself. Instead, make the decision and then go to one of these doctors who's basically guaranteed to prescribe it anyway. And obviously, the only difference is that you can't do this at 14. You can, I mean, it's pretty much the same risks. You're just making the decision with a little bit more rationale, I guess,
blood work done.
if you're a bit
They
older.
won't gatekeep. You need Cialis, Viagra, enclomiphene, testosterone. If you need peptides, do you need help with losing weight? What do you need? Do you need to get healthy? They will help you. It's much cheaper than Marikel. Please compare the prices and do what works best for you. Code Greg 10% off.
The looks are 100% the most important driving factor in relationships for men and women.
And so the truth is, looks are important, but only to a certain degree. Women have a
Sure.
minimum standard that they're looking for, and so perhaps let's, for example, say it's a 7. 7 out of 10. Anything above that, it's icing on the cake, and this applies to men as well. It's either
Sure.
you smash or you pass. As long as you're smashable, you're going to get the time of day. And so what should you do as a man? You should, in fact, look smacks. I agree with Clav on this. The problem is, you shouldn't look smacks by slamming your cheekbones with a hammer, and you shouldn't be getting limb-lengthening surgery, and you don't need to wear makeup. If you use these things, people are going to look at you and think, yeah, I don't like you anymore.
What if everybody started doing that, though? Wouldn't that, like, if that's your sole reasoning as to why you shouldn't, isn't that just like an issue of not enough people doing it as much as it is as to why a given individual shouldn't? It's weak reasoning.
It's a little bit too much, and so this is what you should be doing. Dress nicely, shower, comb your hair, shave,
Sure.
have nice-looking skin, and if your back is as hairy as Mike Isertel, you may want to consider shaving it.
Yeah, okay.
Go to the gym, lift weights, lower your body fat percentage so that you're healthy. Don't need to take steroids. Don't need to do all of this nonsense.
So
You
it's a
just need to be the
it's a qualitative disagreement. It's nothing fundamentally about looks maxing that they disagree on. It's quantitative. It's not qualitative. Fair enough.
best version of yourself. Work on your talking skills. Meet girls. Talk to them. Be friends with women so that you don't feel awkward when you're speaking to someone of the opposite sex. That
All good
is
advice,
called
sure.
soft looks maxing, and that is what you should be doing. If you're a 5 out of 10 right now, and you perhaps go to the gym, lose some weight, wear some nice clothes, you perhaps will go up to a 7, maybe even an 8. If you start as a 3, you might go up to a 6. What's wrong with improving yourself? That is the message. But worrying about it to this extent, taking steroids at 14, Retatrutide, taking math, drugs to help yourself to be skinny, you're leading into what's known as body dysmorphia.
This is like he's doing the thing where he's trying to use behavior. Body dysmorphia is more, to my knowledge, it's you just have a distorted view of yourself, but that could lead to somebody not doing these things. It could lead to somebody you can have an accurate picture of yourself and still go to insane lengths to try and improve, or you could have an inaccurate picture and not give a shit and not have it manifest itself in any sort of this type of behavior.
It's not good, it's not healthy, and many bodybuilders follow in this trap. Bodybuilders are trying to improve their bodies. They're trying to look smack their bodies. But the problem is, they get to a certain point and they keep going, and keep going, and going, and they increase their testosterone doses before they know what they're doing trend. You don't need that. Too much of a good thing, it's bad. Claviculum already looks good enough. Perhaps he's a 9 out of 10. He doesn't need to get any better. It's not going to help him. He's fine the way he is, and I would argue if he gets these facial surgeries, it's only going to make him worse.
The ones he's talking about, I don't know. I'm not like really knowledgeable, but I don't really think that there anything to his jaw would really hurt him, or I don't know. I'm not like a plastic surgery connoisseur, but the reasoning I've seen given for it makes sense to me.
6'2", good-looking 19-year-old. Why does he need to get lengthened to 6'6" and add metal implants, titanium, into his face?
He's making it seem like it's much, I don't know.
Women are going to see this and say, I'm going to pass. It's the hard pass.
Not true,
like you as
in
a
my
9,
experience.
But now, what am I looking? I'm with a cyborg.
I don't think most women really care all that much, to be honest. Because if you think about it, most Hollywood celebrities get work done, and most average women have celebrity crushes. So obviously I don't think that like the plastic surgery is something that they really give a shit about. I don't think any sex does, really.
Or robot, I don't want that. And last I checked, I don't like having to borrow mascara from my boyfriend in order to get ready in the morning.
There is
Sure.
a lot more you can do as a man who's unattractive to kind of build yourself up. Like if you're a woman and you're ugly, you're pretty much right. There's really no getting around that.
As a woman,
I think his logic here, we'll see if Greg gets into it, I think his logic there is that because so many women like already do this shit with their hair and with makeup, etc., they're already closer to their ceiling than the average man. I'd be willing to bet though that Greg is gonna try to twist this into something else.
if you're ugly, there's so much you can do. Ladies, don't be fat. If you're not fat, you're most likely a 5 out of 10.
I think he's just misinterpreting
it's
this.
that easy. Majority of women are obese, and so if you're at a healthy weight, you take care of yourself, you go to the gym, you groom your body, you're probably not bad. And trust me, there's going to be a ton of men out there who want to be with you. Men, on the other hand, we have it way, way worse. If you're a good-looking female, men are messaging you from around the globe. Perhaps they're wealthy guys, perhaps from Dubai. Hey, fly in, let's come on my yacht. When I was a kid, you could only date the people in your town. I was in a small
Has
town.
basically
I
nothing to do
dated
with what
every
he's
girl
saying.
who was attractive, and as had to move out. There's only so many, and I had to leave. Now, if you're in the same small town, you can date people from wherever. And trust me,
These are alright points, but they don't touch on what Clavicular was saying at all. He was obviously getting at, if you're a woman, you're probably already closer to your ceiling because you probably already put effort into your looks. That's all he was saying.
it's not a bunch of women who are DMing the men. Well, Soph Mepsigram who DM Coach Greg. And so if you're a woman, why not learn or take some tips from the men? The men who get what they want, they're sending messages, they're trying, they're exploring. If you're a girl, stop sitting back waiting for Mr. Right to DM you, because even when they do, you're going to ignore them because, hey, he's a creep for DMing me. Pick the guy that you like and send him a signal. Like his photos. Send him a DM. Say, hey, is there anything
Alright, it's a
wrong
little
with that?
tangent.
For what you wanted. And if you're a quality, high-value female, what makes you think you can't get exactly whoever you want?
Whereas maybe improving 20 percentiles in looks is much more achievable. I think that looks maxing is a better way to improve yourself as a man than income and status.
I disagree.
Do you disagree with... Okay.
I think improving your looks by 20% is probably the same difficulty as improving your income.
Really? Really? You think it's easier to... Okay. The average person in America is overweight, aren't they? And what do they reasonably need to do? Like cut back on calories by a good 500, 600 daily? You think that's harder to do that for a good several months than it is to make 20% more money? Seems a bit silly. I wonder if this is because he has to like give this impression that it's difficult though, because obviously he like needs to sell people on his programs and stuff.
Or status by 20%. It's just a little bit better. Not saying you have to be a famous multi-billionaire, a million followers, millions of dollars. But can you make more? Let's say you're making 50,000 right now.
Oh, it's not even 20% because it's 20 percentile, which could be more or less than, yeah. You take the average person. You take an average person who's 50 percentile in both, which I think is the situation they were talking about. It's probably easier to go up in looks. Going up an entire 20 percentile in like income level, that's gonna take like years probably of work experience. Or you'll have to go back to school and get a better... I don't know. Like it could be anything from like a second job to... Yeah, I don't agree with this. Meanwhile, for looks, it's like, what do you need to do? Go to the gym like a couple times a week and cut your calories back?
By 20% is $10,000. Perhaps you work harder, you get another job, you educate yourself, you move up in the rank.
Just work harder and get a better job. I don't know.
Thanks.
It seems like
Same as your
oversimplified.
appearance. You lose some body fat, you go to the gym, you get some nice clothes, you're going to look better. Why not do both? Why not?
That's not no. That's not no. You're refusing to engage with the. He's saying if you're posed with a choice, you're better off doing this one, as a way of abstracting that looks is the more reasonable thing to focus on if you have to focus on one.
Be the best version of yourself, and if you're not, why would you expect a woman to go after you?
If you're someone who's horrible off genetically, you're not going to be able to really ascend that much unless you're getting, these extreme plastic surgeries.
I mean, does anyone think that all the things that Clavicular has done has actually improved him? Had he not used testosterone,
Who can even answer that? Who can even answer that? Because he's been doing this since he was, what, in his mid-teens? You can't even, like, really... What do you mean? You would need to have a crystal ball and look into an alternate reality to see what he would have looked like if he just didn't give a shit.
but went to the gym and trained, do you not think he would have more muscle? Who do you think would have more muscle? Bro who's taking, let's say, 500 milligrams of test a week, that is a lot. Doesn't go to the gym ever. Bro, his brother, he's not on anything, 100% natural. Well, perhaps he's on Turk Builder Max and Turk Platinum. I mean, it's better than creatine, and so why not add creatine to that as well? He's on natural supplements or none whatsoever. What do you think has more muscle? I can guarantee the person that's training and not taking anything has more muscle than the person blasting, testing trend who doesn't go to.
This is pointless though, because Clavicular typically goes to the gym, doesn't he? It's just he took like a month off, which I don't think is that out of the norm. I had to take a month off. This past year I had to take like a good 2 months off because of a couple of injuries. I don't really think anything of it. Most people will probably have to take a month off every year, 2 years, if they like play a sport along with the lifting that they do.
The gym. And so Claviculum, he can't take his own advice. The low-hanging fruit, the easiest thing to do in the world, go to the gym.
But he does. He just hasn't in the past month. Ostensibly, right. He's framing this like it's a like he regularly he goes to the gym. So this is all
for
new.
an hour a day. But yet he's not willing to do that. He's doing podcasts all the time. He's streaming from morning until night. But he can't even go to the gym. Last I checked, you can go to the gym and take an hour break and it'll refresh your mind and make your podcast that much better. Or
Sure.
better yet, record yourself training in the gym. I literally just recorded this video of Clavicular training in the gym. And so why not just go to the gym and live stream?
What?
Much better. Or better yet, record yourself training in the gym. I literally just recorded this video of Clavicular training in the gym.
So Greg knows Clavicular trains regularly. He knows that he trains. He's just saying this like he doesn't train, but like, no. Just took a month off.
And so why not just go to the gym and live stream from there?
So what
Could
are all
argue
the
it'll
things
be
that
more,
took you
but you should argue that
to
then.
get here?
TRT during puberty, as well as HGH. I started that when I was 16.
I was done growing at 13, as in done. And so if I had a growth hormone at 16, it would do nothing other than decrease my health and perhaps put on a bit of muscle. And rather than that, guess what I did?
What? What's that have to do with him? Most people, to my knowledge, stop growing at like 18. Around 18. I think I stopped growing at maybe 17, 18. But I don't think, I don't know what, like, okay.
16, 14, 10. I trained with weights and did cardio. I was a competitive triathlete since the age of 13. And so I did all the healthy things. And so as much as Clavicular is trying to put me down, make fun of me, which person does it better?
In my opinion, that doesn't.
Right, okay. We're gonna pick another one. Let me move. We're gonna look at Clavicular Calls Me
I
Out.
think that people should be doing whatever
Oh,
it takes.
it's the same
right? And that's
podcast
just
episode.
taking it a step further. It's not one or the other. I'm literally doing whatever it takes.
Isn't that funny? Whatever it takes.
Okay,
Except,
we'll
I don't
restart
know.
in case that sound
I
didn't
think
get
that
in there.
people should be doing whatever it takes, right? And that's just taking it a step further. It's not one or the other. I'm literally doing whatever it takes.
Isn't that funny? Whatever it takes. Except, I don't know, go to the gym, put the fork down, do cardio, get Coach Greg's cookbook.
meritocracy argument. Okay.
I mean, whatever it takes, right? You are a Rich Piana fan. You are a poser.
I don't
the
think.
pump thing?
Okay.
You've done
The
that?
dick pump? I don't really have time to do it anymore. Just to be fully honest, I don't even work out anymore. I haven't gone to the gym in over a month.
Just like he doesn't have time to go to the gym. I mean, it would take an hour. He has 24 hours in a day. He also doesn't have time to do the pump on the downstairs anymore. Clavicular. I'm going to save you some time. Harder than last time, code Greg 15% off. You can say all you like
This is
about
fucking
these are
based.
copium supplements.
I don't care. This is
Clavicular.
fucking
Have you
based from
tried
Greg.
GLP Max? You want to decrease your appetite rather than taking math.
Optics win for Greg.
Rather than doing 15 milligrams of red each and every week, have you tried this? Why don't you just try it? Buy it, try it, and if it doesn't work, you can make a video saying, hey, it didn't work, and you get your money back. Where are you losing?
I fully agree. The gym is one of the most important things you can do as a man for looks maxing.
Doesn't that cancel everything there is about this man? If he is so good at looks maxing, he can't even do the number one thing on that list. How is this?
Fair enough. But I mean, if you look deeper into that, I don't know. He would probably argue that he's past the point of diminishing returns. Because that's a very real thing when it comes to the gym. Is once you get to a like a certain point, it becomes like every pound of muscle you add on after that is gonna be, you know, it's gonna be less and less of a big addition in terms of what it is gonna do for your looks. And you would say, or he would probably say that he's past that point, so what he's saying doesn't necessarily apply to him as much, is what I would guess.
Your coach, your savior.
Yeah. What about the mental aspect of it though?
Of the gym?
Yeah.
I hate the gym.
Bro, who is your phys ed teacher? You needed Coach Greg in your life. Imagine if there were more Coach Gregs around the world. Perhaps clone there were a million of Coach Greg. The world would have no problems. Perhaps he's not watching enough Coach Greg videos. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't see the joy, the excitement. Claviculum. You get to the gym, you go and do your treadmill, you put on a Coach Greg video, you watch it, and you get motivated. It's that simple. Why do you think I have over 2 million followers to motivate people? You really think 2 million people follow me so that they can buy Turk Builder Max and Turk Platinum? Or that the only reason you're
He's self-aware about this, right? I hope he's self-aware.
following me is so that they can buy my cookbook? No, it doesn't work like that. What people do is they follow you and they want to learn from you. What are your secrets? What is your dieting like? What is your coaching? Well, I do all these recipes, of which I have tons of videos showing you exactly the recipes on video. Perhaps you missed them. And they say, please make a cookbook. We want to buy the recipes. And so I do. And close to 100,000 copies later, we're here today. Claviculum. I offer coaching, cookbooks, training books, supplements, all as a benefit to the viewer. They watch the videos and they consume if they want. If they don't care. I'm not lying. I'm not.
Cookbook
Which is
ad
everything
still
that
going.
you've been spewing.
You know, the gym influencers, like maybe watch Rich Piana, like 8-hour arm workout. Like that's fun.
How is going to the gym for 8 hours like Rich Piana fun?
He used the wrong word. Like, you know what he meant when he said that.
That's moronic. I mean,
No, he meant it was cool.
Rich Piana is no longer with us, and he stopped producing content when you were 11.
Not because of his arm workout. Is that was okay.
Why were you watching Rich Piana when you were 11?
In terms of hypertrophy, it's not exactly
Why
a
not?
fun process. Like we're talking low rep ranges, high rest durations. So it's not like really that much enjoyment for me.
Clavicular, can you not just watch a frigging Coach Rick video? Why don't you get my free training program? I gave over 110,000 of the way. You think that you have to do low reps? I watch.
Every minute there's a fucking ad for something on these videos. He used to do this. I used to watch Greg a good several years ago. Back when I was, I think it was 2019, 2020, he used to have maybe one plug. It seems like every minute during these videos. That's why I think he's self-aware about it, and he's just doing it as partly a gag. Like, obviously, it still functions as an ad.
Watch your workout, 3 to 5 reps on almost every set, sitting around doing nothing. Why don't you train like myself? I go to the gym 2 times a week. You have 2 hours a week, clavicular. 2. You train your whole body. You do a circuit. You go from one muscle to the next. Perhaps agonist and antagonist train. You can do a set for your chest, then do a set for your back. Perhaps then you do a set for your triceps, biceps, quads, hamstrings. You rotate around. At the end of the hour,
I will say, people very much overstate the amount of time and effort it takes to actually build muscle. It's entirely feasible to go to the gym a couple times a week and get muscular.
walk out, you would have had a higher heart rate, you're building up your body, you're doing cardio, lifting weights at the same time. What is wrong with that? Just have fun in the gym. If you got 3 hours, go 3 times a week. This is all you need to do.
Probably lost about like 15 pounds since I started streaming.
Might have been the math though.
Well, it could have been math, but yeah, it's just like lack of time.
No. A lack of time is a lie. It's copium. You're coping.
Sure,
You have
yeah.
plenty of time. An hour a day, you don't have an hour from your day to go and be healthy. If you're actually making this much money, of which you should be, could you not buy some piece of cardio for your house?
Because I was also reading on forums about, like bodybuilding.com, and I was like, wait a second, if there are these steroids that I could take, like, it's like a cheat code video game, why wouldn't I do it?
So again, we have bodybuilding.com and forums talking about steroids. Ruin this man at 14.
I think those have been shut down. The new bodybuilding.com forums are the looks maxing websites. It's like the sequel.
My body dysmorphia is so bad that I need drugs in order to ascend quicker because my face isn't manly enough.
I was just dirty bulking off of fast food every day, just trying to
What's my
put on as much
AoE on
muscle as
this?
possible. And I was like, wait, maybe, I'm going about this a little bit wrong.
Yeah, maybe had you watched Coach Greg and learned that you don't need to bulk and cut, that you can actually maintain, you wouldn't have had all these problems. You bulked, your face got fatter.
No, that's BS. You can't maintain. I don't care what anybody says. I tried that for a good few years. You don't build anywhere near as much muscle. It's nowhere near as efficient.
And so you use steroids in Retta versus Coach Greg says healthy body fat percentage for you. Perhaps it's 15%, and you maintain and slowly build muscle. That's what you should have done as a teenager. But Greg's message doesn't work. It's not good advice. Growing up and maturing is realizing that Coach Greg was right all along.
I saw a clip of you putting I don't know, on your shoulder pads. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, that was the gayest thing I've ever saw.
That's gay?
Why it's gay is what people are saying is because it's very feminine. Women will wear padding, they'll pad their...
Right now he's just echoing those people, so I'm not gonna really harp on this.
And so if a man is padding his shoulders to pretend he has delts, he's essentially trying too hard. It's one thing to go to the gym and want to build your shoulders, you're doing your laterals, your presses, and your muscles get bigger. But if you're trying to cheat, and you go to the clubs looking for a girl, and you have padding glued on, and then you go home with her, and then the shirt comes off, and she's thinking, what is that padding? And your shoulders are actually small. It's embarrassing, and she's going to get the ick. Because women...
She's gonna get the ick. Look, to my knowledge, men have been doing this first. Didn't we have the suits with like the padded, really broad shoulders? And aren't there like a lot of like military dress uniforms that do this?
Women don't want men to act like them. If they did, they would be gay. A.k.a. women would want to be with women. And when men put on makeup and concealer and all that stuff and wear padding and do all the things, women aren't attracted to that because it's not masculine. Now, I'm not saying there's no women that like it, but perhaps 90%
As a
don't
general
like
rule.
that. And so if you're
I wouldn't say 90, but okay. I acknowledge as a general Cool, Greg is probably right on this.
Odds and statistics, and if you say you're so autistic, you understand that if you're being masculine, your odds are better because 90% of women are going to like that. But if you start acting too gay, makeup, etc., well, you're only down to about 10% that are going to be into that, and I don't like them odds.
Most people would absolutely take the easy route, but that's not
But they could still.
really my responsibility.
Bro, you're on red on steroids and you don't go to the gym. You are the easy route. You are, in fact, easy in more ways than one.
I think that people should be doing whatever it takes, right? And that's just taking it a step further. It's not one or the other. I'm literally doing whatever it takes.
Isn't that funny? Whatever it takes, except, I don't know, go to the gym, put the fork down, do cardio, get Coach Greg's cookbook. I mean, whatever it takes, right? You are a Rich Piana fan. You are a poser.
I think, well, me and Togi might have a good amount of similarities. It's maybe slightly different intent.
Yeah, Togi has better intent than you even. At least Togi's donating money to charity. He's trying to do better. You're actually doing worse than Togi now. And so, how does that make you feel?
Greg, he makes a lot of these videos calling me out for doing roids.
Is it just me calling out for doing steroids, of which he did so at 14, and so I do think that's justified? Or is it also doing Retta, 15 milligrams a day, doing math, sniffing creatine, and selling programs for $49 a month to 14-year-olds on how to look smacks, including using pharmacology to minors? Oh, and let's not forget when he was using a syringe and poking that 17-year-old girl in the face with some kind of fat dissolver. And so is it really just steroids? Why is he minimizing my argument so much in order to make it look like he didn't do anything? 18-year-olds on how to look smacks, including using pharmacology to minors. Oh, and let's not forget when he was using...
Okay.
And so is it really just steroids? Why is he minimizing my argument so much in order to make it look like he didn't do anything really that bad?
Then he'll push his like compliments of like, testosterone and all this bull.
How many people think that he has tried this? Guaranteed.
No, you don't need to try that shit. You don't need to try it. No.
He has not. And if he did, he would have got his money back if it didn't work. And so, where is his complaint?
Okay, fair enough.
From
I can do that.
Turkestanica from Uzbekistan is not the
Wait. Okay, yeah, those are still. Those are all reasonable.
Turkestanica from Uzbekistan is not the fake bullshit that's being sold by, I don't know, clients like your favorite girl of mine, Derek. Remember, HLT Turkish from Ajuga, proven from Uzbekistan. It's not the...
I thought he said something else. I thought he said something else than Ajuga.
Fake copycat plant, probably cyanosis, that other companies, almost all are selling, including, remember that Turk Black sold by Derek from a girl of mine, and they're not selling it anymore? I wonder why they're not selling it anymore. Do you think I might have chain of custody proof of what it actually is? Oh, but they didn't promise it was turkesterone. No, they just put the freaking turkesterone molecule in the bottle, right-click the URL, turkesterone. Where is the call-out of Derek or other influencers? Why is it all on Coach Greg, the big bad wolf? And so listen, Clav, wolves don't concern themselves with the opinions of sheep. And so I'm simply stating facts. Facts about what you are as an influencer, the worst influencer in the world. You can say my supplements don't work, of which you've never tried them. You can lie about what I've done. But people see through this. I'm not wrong. And when you grow up and look back, you'll realize that everything I said was right. That you shouldn't have gone on testosterone at 14. That you shouldn't be using all these drugs. And that you should be going to the friggin' gym.
It's a marketing tactic.
Yeah, I mean, it's how fitness has been forever. Before it was like the ads were like 500% increase, like eating this protein.
And Bradley, you're such a cuck boy sitting there going along with him. Yeah, he responds. You know, bodybuilders back in the day saying it's 500% better. Did I say that this is 500% better? No! I said it puts on muscle, it helps you recover. Where did I say?
You said it was better than creatine. You did You made a quantitative statement about how good it was. You did do that. I believe you did that in this video. Hang on. Let's see. It might have been this video, it might have been the last one.
Go to the gym and over a month.
Just like he doesn't have time to go to the gym. I mean, it would take an hour. He has 24 hours a day. He also doesn't have time to do the pump on the downstairs anymore. Clavicular. I'm going to save you some time. Harder than last time, Code Greg 15%
Okay,
off.
yeah. Here we
You
go.
can say all you like about these are copium supplements. Clavicular. Have you tried GLP Max? You want to decrease your appetite rather than taking math, rather than doing 15 milligrams of Retta each and every week. Have you tried this? Why don't you just try it? Buy it, try it, and if it doesn't work, you can make a video saying, hey, it didn't work, and you get your money back.
Where's the part where he
Where are you losing?
I fully agree. The gym is one of the most important.
You really think 2 million people follow me so that they can buy Turk Builder Max and Turk Platinum? Or that the only reason they're following me is so that they can buy my cookbook? No.
It must have been the
doesn't
last
work
video.
like that. What people do is they follow you and they want to learn from you. What are your secrets? What is your dieting like? What is your coaching? Well, I do all these recipes of which I have tons
Yeah.
of videos showing you exactly.
He did say his supplements were better than creatine in
the
the last.
studies don't prove it. The studies
last
were
video.
using cyanosis. They weren't even using Ajuga. That's like saying, oh, there's studies on creatine saying it doesn't work. Instead of using creatine, they're using sawdust. Oh, the studies prove it doesn't work. Yes, prove sawdust doesn't work. Do you understand it now?
I don't recommend people to take steroids unless they have extremely comprehensive knowledge on what they're doing.
You start studying them at 14 and wait 6 months or so that when you're 14 and a half, you know so much about it and you're an expert, and then you can do it. And if you don't understand how to do it, I at 19 will coach you on how. I will explain it, and it's only $49 a month, of which I believe over 40% of his audience is between the ages of 14 and 17.
Let's be real. if parents are letting their kids get their credit cards and spend them on looks maxing guru coaching, the kid is probably not going to make it anyway. If there's 14 to 15 olds paying $50 a month for looks maxing coaching, that kid's parents must be so uninvolved that the kid is probably doomed anyway. So we might as well just let it happen as like as a science experiment.
That's what we have. We have a man teaching kids, minors, how to abuse and take pharmaceutical drugs, peptides, you name it. You've seen it. It's not up for debate. This is what he's doing.
But for when Greg, who literally uses steroids to attribute his success to a cookbook, like what are we talking about here?
Let's dive back a little bit, Claviculum. I was natural for 42 competitions, and I trained natural for over 20 years. You've seen my natural physique. It's far superior than yours, better than 99.999% of people. I then decided to go on steroids because I wanted an IFBB Pro card because I couldn't make gains anymore. I reached my natural genetic limit. Throughout all of those years being natural, I invented recipes to make my diets easier because it was very hard to diet all the time because I didn't have amazing genetics for being shredded. I did have great genetics for muscle insertion, symmetry, and so on. As I got older, I had more and more recipes, well over 100. Put them into a cookbook. Ate from my recipes my entire life. It allowed me to stay leaner in the off-season. It allowed my clients thousands, not hundreds, thousands, to diet easier than last time. I've
Fair
trained
enough.
countless IFBB pros, and wherever I've gone, people have talked about my diets as being revolutionary, as in making a massive impact on society.
Okay. Okay. Little embellishment.
Gone are the days of chicken, broccoli, and rice. I started this all years ago. If you were alive long enough, perhaps if you studied, you would realize this. I changed the game. And so you're saying, what have I done? I've done a ton in comparison to you.
This is just an obvious, it's a scam. It's just a money-making.
Just because you make money on something doesn't mean it's a scam. What else is a scam? Is Louis Vuitton clothing a scam? Are buying luxury vehicles and...
Shouldn't have said Louis. That's one you could argue, yeah, it probably is.
Race cars also scam. I mean, they charge so much. And so, is it a scam? No, because people want it and they pay for it. You know what's actually a scam?
Sure.
People pretending they're selling my cookbook and going to Etsy and selling it for 70% off. Or people selling my cookbook, charging people, and them not giving it because they're getting it on some scam website. Or when people copy my book, the recipes, and they lie to people what they're getting.
Okay, yeah.
That's a scam. Me selling the book and you getting it, whether it's PDF or hard copy, not a scam. If Derek or some other company says they're selling a Juga Turkistanica and it's not a Juga Turkistanica, that's a scam. It will be equivalent to me saying, this is vintage wine from 1974. And rather than that, it's a bottle of beer. That would be a scam. Oh, but they're both alcohol. It would be a scam. You can't lie about what you're selling. I'm not lying about what I'm selling. You can
Alright,
test
fine.
it.
We get it.
Prove it. Take it. Test it. Do something rather than talking out of your ass.
Fine, like I get it, but don't drag my name through the mud to sell your...
Drag your name under the mud. Every time I mention you, you get that many more followers. Bros acting like my videos somehow make him less infamous.
I don't know too much about the modern
More infamous.
fitness space. I think it's I'm really disappointed in like the direction it's taken.
I mean, you can't write the script any worse. He is the epitome of what a bad fitness influencer is actually like. Trying to convince teenagers that they don't look good enough, that they have to bone smash, take drugs, peptide steroids, you name it, because they're not good enough. There is no worse fitness influencer than this. That they don't look good enough, that they have to bone smash, take drugs, peptide steroids, you name it, because they're not good enough. There is no worse fitness influencer than this.
That's just pretty disingenuous characterization of what's going on. Does your cookbook imply that people need to lose weight because they're not good enough?
He doesn't go to the gym. He's lost 15 pounds of muscle. He sniffs creatine. He stopped doing that, thankfully, from 2 weeks ago. How is this a positive role model? Rich Piana influenced you to do what you're doing. How do you think that's great? Oh, influencers were way better back in the day. Whatever it takes. You are the epitome of whatever it takes doesn't work. Why not do the healthy, low-hanging fruit? You go to the gym, you train, you eat healthy. Saying Coach Greg's a bad fitness influencer, it makes no sense.
People will work out for maybe 6 months, have like a little bit of muscle that's able to be kind of frauded in like downlighting, and start a fitness page.
I mean, bro, you said people train for 6 months and they're fitness influencers, they're coaches. What are you? You're 19 years old, you've been on steroids since you're 14, you've lost 15 pounds of muscle, and you're an influencer. You're literally saying the opposite.
Not a fitness influencer. Important distinction you glossed over.
Of what you should be doing.
Honestly, I'll never like lie about like I've taken every drug. I don't think that anyone should. I think recreational drugs are horrible.
Does this not remind you of Togi? How is this a good influencer? You don't think that him taking every single drug, talking about it, looks smacking, it's going to influence those 14 to 17-year-olds to do the same?
No.
Aren't you doing that? By mentioning them? By that logic? If you're operating under the logic that just bringing this up, even if you disavow it, is going to influence people to copy you, right? To copy this behavior. Technically, you're also guilty of that because you keep bringing up Togi. But you know, and pretty much everybody knows, that if it's brought up with like a negative, you know, in a clearly negative light, then it's obviously just going to discourage people. You understand the potential for people to be discouraged by a behavior being like talked about, or else you wouldn't be talking about Togi.
Never reason to, be doing.
I think you did that in my gym pre-workout.
Yeah.
Rather than sniffing creatine, can we not just take the Blue Lobster pre-workout with Solidricide, the best pre-workout in the world? Amazing energy, gonna uplift your mood, your spirits. You're gonna feel very, very happy. Code Greg 15% off. And rather than those stupid candy dessert junk that Clavicular's eating before going to the gym, pick up a Seco bar. Code Seco, it's 50% off. And so Clavicular, is this also a scam? It's $19.99.
Why would he ask that while it shows him fucking eating it in like this fancy car?
50% off. And so Clavicular, is this also a scam? It's $19.99 for a box. How is that a scam? For 12 bars, 21 grams of
That is a scam. People have become way too accepting of these inflated food prices.
protein, 230 calories.
If they're paying $20 for 12 protein bars.
I have the best supplement company in the world. The best sourced ingredients, the best overall supplements you can buy. Amazing taste, amazing ingredients from the best sources. HCLT supplements, if you want to be a sponsored athlete, paid athlete, and so on, even if you want to be an ambassador, click the link in the description and apply right now. We're looking to grow the company to the moon. Wait till you see the news that I get to announce soon about where we're in
Okay.
next. Thousands of stores. Get ready for it. And so
Anything else?
no experience on this. You're just 19 years of age. Your whole life is ahead of you. I hope if you can stop doing the things that you're doing. And so perhaps you need Coach Greg as your coach. Of course, you can do that by clicking the link in it.
Alright, yeah.
In
Gonna
my
do another
opinion,
one.
that doesn't really seem that extreme to me.
Here we go.
Coach Greg, and in today's video,
It's about what
clavicular
happened on Christmas.
vehicular manslaughter.
Clavicular manslaughter. Just in case. I don't know if the audio comes in when I don't have it up.
Clavicular vehicular manslaughter.
Don't know if I could even show this. We'll skip past it. He ran him over.
You to do anything. But you can't
He ran him
live-stream
over.
yourself attempting to end the life of another human being. And so Clavicle, who I believe is a sociopath or perhaps a psychopath, you pick your pick. And so he's been stalked by a fan. And he keeps showing up in order to get on a clavicular stream.
Yeah.
We've seen this in the past. Famous guys like ISO Speed. People show up to him and they do crazy things. And so what we have in today's video is a guy showed up while Clavicular is driving essentially a tank. He's driving a Cybertruck. He has passengers in the vehicle, and this fan, this stalker, if you will,
I don't know if he was a... Was he a fan? I don't think he was.
shows up and essentially goes and does some googly face. He does that, trying to get his attention, perhaps trying to get on a live stream, as many fans they seem to do this, and he...
I think you're describing too much reasoning to this guy. He's just a fucking crazy person.
kind of jumps himself up onto the vehicle.
Kind of. No, he was...
Onto this tank, if you will. This bulletproof truck. And so...
No. Alright, I can already see where this is heading. Cybertrucks, to my knowledge, can stop small caliber. They can stop small. Oh, why did I just join that? They can stop small caliber rounds from a distance. But this is like the doors. Like, this isn't the tires, this isn't the windows. I don't even know if they could, like, completely protect the engine components. Realistically, somebody at this range is just gonna shoot through the window. They're not gonna try and get you through the door. So this... I'm jumping the gun a little bit because I think I know where he's going with this. He's trying to, like, characterize this as, oh, he's not under, you know, there's no risk, it's bulletproof. No, that's bullshit. I reject that.
Clavicular, who has no expressed emotions whatsoever. I don't personally believe that he knows how to experience normal human emotions.
I imagine that the adrenaline would be flowing to the degree where a lot of people just wouldn't.
You might doubt me, you might think I'm exaggerating. And so, what does he decide to do when this guy essentially jumps onto his vehicle? He decides to run over him. And so, upon driving over this individual, Clavicular had no emotional response. Not a, oh my god, not a, my goodness, what have I done?
I don't think I would either. I don't know how many people would. Like, maybe if somebody was following and stalking me for weeks and just trying to annoy me, and then they jumped on the roof of my car, if that's like what it cascaded in when I have like a loved one inside, I would probably do the same. Like, I wouldn't have a reaction if I did run him over.
Not a sense of fear, nothing. And so,
Not a sense of, I don't know how you could discern that, but okay.
people on the internet are divided. Oh, it's self-defense. He's gonna get off scot-free. The other side, people who actually know, you're not allowed to end someone's life over being a crazy fan.
See, okay. That's, no. Jesus, that's bad. Being a crazy fan, that's all it was. He just ran him over because he was a crazy fan. Okay.
If you
Like,
are in imminent danger, the person
who's
has
that gonna
something in their hand,
convince?
If he pressed a button, something could dislodge and perhaps that could end you. If in their hand, if he pressed a button,
Something in his hand and he pressed a button. Isn't Greg Canadian? Like, is he even familiar with, like, Florida laws on this?
something could dislodge and perhaps that could end you. If that were the case, by all means, you have the right to defend yourself. If
I don't even know. Is he speaking in legal terms, or is he saying, like, what he morally thinks? Like, you should have the right to...
the person's life is finished, can't say the proper word, it would be second degree, ends with starts with it.
No. Jesus, man. Oh my god, this is so terrible. A prosecution would most likely try manslaughter here.
And an M. That's the worst case scenario.
Okay,
and
worst
also
case
could be
scenario.
considered vehicular homicide. And so, unfortunately for Clavicular, he can't use self-defense as an excuse because without an immediate threat, once it's over.
What? How does he think the law works? He can't use self-defense without an immediate... Okay. I mean, that's up for a jury to decide.
You can't then drive over the individual using
Obviously, if he uses that, there's gonna be a lot of fucking people who would support it, and he would have a decent chance as a result. Because, like you said, on the internet, people are divided, and a lot of people are excusing it. So clearly, you understand that in some capacity, he could invoke that. He could invoke self-defense.
Deadly force, and a Cybertruck is, in fact, considered a weapon. A stalker slash fan, if you will, who jumps onto a bulletproof Cybertruck is not considered a legal threat.
What if he's been following you for weeks? What if he's been following you everywhere you go for weeks? What if he almost followed you into the Cybertruck and you just managed to create enough distance to barely get in? Are those not things that are going to be brought up in court?
And so he has no justification to drive over them. Now, where it's caught in 4K, you can see this clavicle appeared to be petrified, to be losing control, scared for his life, where he just drives off. Oh my goodness, what's going to happen? Absolutely not.
Sure. A jury might have a problem with that, and they might find the self-defense thing less convincing. But I personally doubt that.
He's calm, collected, and upon driving over the individual, what does he say?
Is he dead?
This is, yeah. Yeah,
And so if
that's the
somebody
smoking
is
gun.
annoying you, throwing water on you, pop on you, yelling at you, making fun of you.
Wait, so you know this
calling you
guy's always falling. Okay.
names, teasing you, saying, "Why do you use the N-word? That's not cool. We don't like you." And then he jumps on the hood of your car with
You've been characterizing this guy as a fan the entire time. But you're actually well aware that he's basically anything but a fan. Demonstrably. If, you know, what you just said is anything to go off of.
no weapons, no ability to do you harm. You can't decide to end his life. I'm sorry, but
What? How do you know that?
many of you think it's okay if somebody says a mean thing to you, fuck around and find out. Well,
Says a mean
Some-
thing? What? Okay, so now we went from he's jumping on his car to he said a mean thing. We went from he followed him and constantly is harassing him and jumping on top of his car to said a mean thing. Is that what we're doing?
fuck around and find out, and then you do something to that person, you are then subject to the harshest penalties of the law. Now, does anyone think it's going to look well for Clavicular? Let's see
In Florida?
his prior history. Well, he's punched a 56-year-old woman at a wedding, as well as a 63-year-old man, hitting
Okay. You think Clavicular's gonna like lose this? Like versus the guy who fucking goes around constantly harassing people and it's impossible to find a photo of without him holding a gun and pointing a gun at the camera?
elderly people. It doesn't really look good for you. Kicked out of university, had a kilogram of, I forget which name of the drug it was.
How much of this would even be able to... Don't courts like stop you from just bringing up... Okay. Whatever.
Caught with tons of steroids, which in the United States is highly legal. Now in Canada, it's legal to buy steroids. In the States, it's not quite so much. Also, crashed his car. We've seen that. While intoxicated, I believe he was high on drugs. I don't think he was drinking alcohol. And somehow managed to get off those charges. Is this the end of Clavicular? I mean, if he's not able to stream, if he's not on YouTube and not on Kick, he was on live stream with Ad and Ross, who says, hey, say nothing, do nothing, continue to film, don't answer any questions, and I'm going to hook you up with some lawyers on Christmas Day, because I have lawyers that, well, they don't mind working.
Look, just
That's not the implication. How do you gloss over the implication there? No, that's not... No. Okay, whatever.
hang tight, record, don't say anything. Don't answer questions. And just don't say anything, okay? I let it play out, but you need to be recording. Somebody needs to record you.
Even if he were to get off, it's illegal to do a hit and run. When you get into an accident, drive over somebody, the first thing you should do, 911, yeah, this is an emergency. I accidentally drove over somebody, a crazy fan. I mean, do you guys know how often this is going to happen to people who are excessively famous, people who have more fans than last time? Eventually, people are going to show up to you, and they're going to be excited And just because you think, oh, I don't like this person, he's annoying me, he approached me, he was too close to me, you can't simply try to end their life over it. And just because you think, oh, I don't like this person, he's annoying me, he approached me, he was too close to me.
What? He has like the most inconsistent characterizations of what this presumable fan actually was doing. We went from following him to weeks. Well, we started out with saying mean things, and then we went from following him for weeks and harassing him. And then we went back to he was saying mean things to him. And now we're saying he's...
You think, oh, I don't like this person, he's annoying me.
Annoying.
He was too close to me.
Being annoying and being too close. Okay.
You can't simply try to end their life over it. And so many people say, this has to be fake, it has to be AI, there's no way Clavicular would do this. Have you not been following his story? He's been on steroids since 14, clearly affected his mind, and he himself tells the world, I'm neurodivergent. That is not an excuse. No matter where you fall.
I don't think he ever tried to use that as... I don't think he ever tried to make excuses. He just said, yeah, I fucking ran him over. I don't regret it. It was justified.
All on this bullshit spectrum.
Pretty sure that's his stance.
I don't care. If you start doing crazy things, expect crazy results. Florida law requires proportionality and necessity.
Which are obviously subjective. And they'll be, you know...
And so, unfortunately for Clavicular, you can't simply try to end somebody's life because you're annoyed and they jump onto your vehicle.
No. You're still not... No. You're still glossing over the full... Not even glossing over. You're just skirting around the full extent of what this guy was doing. And you're vastly underestimating how sympathetic people would be towards Clavicular here. We're talking about Florida.
You could argue, hey, what if he scratches you? He might have smudged my vehicle. Well, that's not enough. You'd have to actually believe that this person could end you right now.
Right now? What do you mean by right now?
And based on the video evidence, does it look like Clavicular was even concerned, was even scared? And so, some of the key evidence that would destroy Clavicular's defense. You know,
I don't even think he's been charged yet, has he? Like, this is an AI mugshot, to my knowledge.
What is it looking like? Why is it that in court, things are going to go very poorly for him? The video recording, the calm demeanor, statements like, I hope he's dead. No attempt to escape safely. No attempt to stop or to call the police.
Is Florida the same state where they convicted that, or they jury nullified the dad who beat to death the person molesting his child? Because I know it was either Florida or Texas. It was one of those two. I think Greg overestimates how sympathetic Americans are to, like, dumb, useless criminals in states like Florida and Texas.
Used deliberately. He didn't turn to the left. Notice he was to the right. He turns to the right
Overestimates.
him, rather than backing up. Could he have not backed away? Hey, this guy's on my wheel. I'm backing up. I'm going to get around him. Back up and drive away. But when you steer towards somebody, what do you think is going to happen?
Do we know? Like, if he could have backed up, he could have had a car behind him. Or just pretty much anything stopping him from doing that.
And so, perhaps they'll make an example of Clavicular. Now remember, if he is in fact alive, it's...
The state where the fucking sheriff tells people they would prefer if they shot home invaders is gonna make an example out of Clavicular for doing this, according to Greg.
Still causes serious...
Canadians just don't know anything about the fucking US, man. I tell you.
Bodily injury, and so he still could go to jail for a very, very long time. And so essentially, what this does in fact look like is retaliation. I'm going to get my revenge. Now, if they can prove that that person had a weapon, something in their hand, or that person was actively trying to enter the vehicle, of which clearly.
No. I'm pretty sure if Clavicular has reason to believe he has a weapon, then that's all that could really matter. I mean, obviously, if he has one, it's stronger.
It was not. We've seen it on video. That could have been.
But I'm pretty sure what matters is Clavicular's perception of the ostensible danger. Okay, here we go. We got this guy attacking me. What matters, I believe, is the danger that is ostensible to Clavicular if we're doing self-defense. Or at least that's the main thing.
But unfortunately, with video evidence in 4K, it's not looking good for Clavicular. I do believe he's going to be found guilty if charged. I think it's ended his career. Now, you can debate me, you can argue with me and say, no, he isn't all that bad. Does anyone want Clavicular to continue to make these videos? If you do...
Why does that matter? He's showing his bias here. He's really showing his cards. Like, why does this matter? Okay, I'm probably not gonna care about that.
You're yourself perhaps a psychopath, sociopath, and you like watching dangerous things unfold. If you're a parent and you have a kid and he's watching Clavicular, would you want him to continue to watch this person?
Why does that matter?
To cheer for him. What a great guy.
What does that have to do with the arguments, if they can be called that you levied here about like how he's not gonna get away with this? You think a jury's gonna see this and they're gonna like invoke the same this type of reasoning? I don't think so.
If Clavicular is a great guy, I would hate to meet someone who is not. Now, rather than being on steroids would perhaps mess up Clavicular's mind, you should give the gift that keeps on giving, Turk, Wildermax, Turk Platinum.
There's no way you couldn't have incorporated this ad into a way that was... There's no way there wasn't an opportunity for you to shield your testosterone during any other point in a more creative way.
HCLT supplements, it's the gift that keeps on giving for the whole year. Give the gift of gains. Enter code Greg for 15% off. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Please like the video if you liked it. Don't forget to watch either of these two loops. The Sequel Bar is code CICO for 50% off. Don't forget about the cookbook. And of course, Alborex code Greg. And until next time, I am out.
Right, send that at this like terrible video. The best thing you have against Clavicular is if you're trying to make the argument he's going to lose legally. It's the hope he's dead. It would be that.